Hi guys, today we're going to talk about what happens when you do a home staging consultation service and you're faced with trying to decide what the best use of a client's resources are. And by resources, I mean money.
Yeah, so what's more important, staging or repairs when you have a client who has a limited amount of funds to invest before they put their house on the market?
This can be really tricky because we know that, like us, you're a home stager and your goal is ultimately to be able to rent your inventory and stage the property and earn income off of the job that way.
Right, so you get in this situation where you're doing a consultation. You're going to charge for your consultation services, right? So you've been contacted by a realtor, you get the lowdown on the house, and you go to do your site visit. And you're faced with a situation where there are obvious repairs and obvious updates that need to be addressed. And so it gets into this kind of gray area in terms of what is our role as a stager and what is our responsibility and our ethical responsibility when the overall goal is to sell the property expeditiously, but also we want to make money off of this job.
I think first and foremost, we need to talk about the difference between repairs and cosmetic improvements, right?
Yeah.
You always want to work with as much integrity as possible when you come into a situation. So your job as the home stager is to cause the buyer to get excited about what they see. You're going to make a beautiful space. You're going to create a warm, inviting feeling using furniture and accessories and art and decor.
Right.
That's what you're looking to do. Now, does that sometimes cause a person to focus on the beauty and not so much on some of the flaws of the house? Yes, but you're not in the business of trying to use staging to cover up, disguise obvious things that need to be repaired.
Yeah.
Or prepared.
Or prepared.
Or repaired.
We could do both. So we're talking about like structural integrity, right? And if there's a spot on the floor that like a water stain on a hardwood floor that needs to be addressed, you're going down a slippery slope if you start engaging in these sort of activities where you're putting a throw rug to disguise something that is truly a large repair.
Right.
Yeah.
Another good example is water damage. Usually, this is common, right? You see water spots on a ceiling or down a seam of a wall, and it seems like the easy answer would be to have the homeowner slap a coat of paint on there. But if you're trying to cover up what might be an obvious leak in a roof,
right,
that's a big issue. So
right.
It is not your job to address repairs. That is really between the realtor and the client. You as the stager might see some things, and it's okay for you to say to your team of realtor homeowner people, like, hey, I noticed this spot and we're definitely going to want to paint over that,
yeah.
But
is this an active leak?
Is this a leak?
Yeah. Right, yeah, so addressing it with them. And there's something else that you can do that maybe the realtor will suggest and you could suggest. We've done this in the past when we've put houses on the market, was we got an inspection first. So we knew there would be no surprises when we went through the inspection process with a buyer. So we literally paid to have an inspection done, and we checked everything off the list that we possibly could that came out in that inspection. So of course that's going above and beyond. That's definitely, it's another financial obligation that the person would have to invest in. But in terms of putting the property's best foot forward and really showing your realtor that your interests are not only in making money staging, but truly in having a positive outcome for the seller and for the realtor, that's going to make that realtor want to come back to you time and time again.
Right. And I think just to expand on that, it is not your job as the stager to get an inspection done on a property.
Right.
And I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
What Erin is saying is that you could recommend that to a homeowner if you wanted to be proactive, but that's not something that you would be doing.
Right, yeah. It's just another means of being like super thorough and super resourceful in terms of the suggestions that you make to somebody. The truth is, a fresh coat of paint throughout an entire house will make a tremendous difference on the property. So if you go into a house and you suggest that the property be painted, and you give them a paint color recommendation, and you give them the name of a painter who you know and you trust, that would lay the foundation for you to, then bring in a staging package. And the truth is, the way that paint can update a house can go so much further than just bringing in gorgeous furniture. Because if the walls are a mess, your furniture is going to kind of be overshadowed.
Yeah. Right. So let's talk about that, because we've been in this situation.
Yeah.
We've been in a situation where we get a call to quote the job to bring in the furnishings, and then we go and we realize that, paint is always an obvious one, but then just like general cleaning, the carpetings are not up to par. They need a good steam cleaning, or
maybe replaced.
Yes, or maybe the hardwoods are just torn up by pets and they need to be refinished. And this comes back to that conversation about integrity again. We know that you want to stage the home, but you also have an obligation to give all of your recommendations to that homeowner and that realtor. So what you would do then in that situation is say, listen, we would love to stage this property for you. We also think that you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck if you do steam clean the carpets and consider fresh paint in at least the main living areas. And what happens then, people respect that honesty, and they appreciate the solid advice. You're not offering to stage, but you're saying, hey, we really think you need to consider doing this first.
This is the priority. Yeah, helping them prioritize what cosmetic repairs need to be addressed, and then telling them, okay, once this is complete, we're happy to put together a staging package for you. Or offering, along with your checklist, after you've done your consultation, you hand them your checklist of all of the observations you've made, and then in addition to that, you give them your staging quote. If you guys need help with a checklist, guys, we have an awesome tool that you can download. If you click on the link below, it's called our 4-part consultation checklist. It is the most comprehensive guide that you can possibly imagine for home staging consultations. It tells you everything from what to say to a client to, every room that needs to be addressed, paint colors, cleaning advice, open house ready guide. It's all there for you. So if you don't have a checklist of your own, this is an awesome resource. So click the link below and take a look at the one that we've made.
And speaking of things that you can get, we have a free Pricing for Profits masterclass available right now. We teach you the exact formula that we use to set prices for our home staging. We've laid it all out for you. It's well worth it, and this is totally free.
100%.
So come check it out.
Yep, hit the link below, jump in the masterclass. It's 100% free. Y'all, we struggled in the beginning to figure out how much to charge people for our staging services, and it's the number one question we hear from you guys is, how much do I charge? How much do I make?
Right.
We've laid it all out for you. It's free. Hop on the masterclass. It's in the link below, and see all of the information that we are happy to share with you so that you can get your pricing right and you can start making great money.
We talk a ton about actually pricing for home staging consultations, and per our conversation today, we're talking about how you do this. Pricing and setting up consultation services right from the start is a way that you can begin earning money as a home stager without having any inventory of your own. And it actually takes very little, if any, startup capital. Yeah. So we actually go really into depth on the Pricing for Profit
every bit of it
webinar.
Yep. We are an open book, so check it out.
Check it out. So let's talk about what happens in a situation when you've suggested that the homeowner make the cosmetic improvements and they're not interested in doing that. They want to move ahead with staging with, your furnishings and your inventory.
Yeah. Well, what do you do? The truth is, you go ahead and hand them that quote, and you can go ahead and move forward with your staging.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think it's a topic that is worth discussing, and it's important to keep that communication open with your realtor. So so the realtor can see that you're coming from a place of honesty and not just trying to land the deal. Because your relationship with the realtor, I think, is more important than that of the client, because the client's not as likely to sell another house in the next few years and need to have it staged. But that realtor sells houses for a living.
Yeah.
So you want your, you want your decision making and your communication with that realtor to reflect your integrity. And if the realtor is on board with if the realtor is on board with, staging the house and skipping the repairs because that's what the homeowner wants to do, then go for it.
We've been in that situation.
Yeah.
We've for whatever reason, sometimes it's not possible for cosmetic improvements to be made to the home. So we've gone into places that were in desperate need of paint or lots of nail holes in the walls. Floors aren't in great condition. And the reality is that staging does an incredible job, even in the most difficult circumstances, of drawing the potential buyer's eye to the most beautiful parts of the home. So that is the beauty of staging, right?
Yeah.
We have literally kind of gasped, like, holy cow, this place is in really rough shape. And once we did our staging magic, we're like, it's incredible.
It does. It really does bring out the beauty. It brings out the architectural features. It really is kind of like magic.
It is.
Yeah.
You're actually doing exactly what your job is as a home stager, and it's to show a potential buyer what the experience of living in the home could look like.
Yeah.
So even though they may be aware that the place needs a paint job, you have created this, oh my gosh, I can see the potential. This is what it's going to be like. Turns out all I have to do is slap a coat of paint on the walls when I buy it.
Yeah.
So, there are two sides to that coin.
There are. So what are your thoughts on this topic? We'd love to hear your feedback. Drop them in the comments below. If you have questions, if you have topics that you want us to cover, drop them in the comments and we will cover them in our upcoming videos.
We love hearing from you guys. Don't be afraid to ask us anything that you want. Your questions give us material for future videos. We're making these for you because we want to answer the questions that you have specifically. So keep them coming.
Keep them coming. We are Revisions Mentor, and the purpose of our entire channel is to teach home stagers how to get your business off the ground, how to save money, save time, increase your profit margins, and build a business that you are proud of, and help you get the systems in place that you need to have a successful home staging career. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hit subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.